The following video is brought to you by Pride Total Elimination 2003, now available on DVD at SureDog.com.
A lot of you know this has been a really rough 2 weeks for us. We had, from actually the start of the show, this was the most messed up show we've ever had. As far as we probably had at least 8 dropouts. We had 4 dropouts 9 days before the fight. We had a lot of people step up late notice and fight their heart out. And I thank all of you so much for making it a great night of fights. Thank you to all the fighters. Thank you very much.
The one who we really need to thank too is Joe Silva. A very thankless job pulling such a great card together on such short notice. He did a great job, worked hard, and good job, Joe. It was a great night fight. Just like you said, this show could have been a disaster. It was a disaster, falling apart like it did. But the guys who fought here tonight, it's funny because the way the card ended up, at no point ever was I disappointed in this card. Like, oh, this isn't going to be a great card. I knew this was going to be a great card. The fighters that are here tonight fought their hearts out, you know. Patrick Cote was unknown. I think everybody knows Patrick Cote now. Awesome fighter. Patrick, unbelievable. I want to thank Trump Hotel and Casino. They've always been good to us. Donald Trump has been very supportive of the UFC ever since the first show. When we first bought this company, our first show was at the Trump Taj Mahal. He's always been very supportive of us, and we appreciate it. Zions Extreme Supplements and COP 28, the 2 main sponsors of the show this evening, thank them. I was not as happy with ticket sales here as we stay in Vegas a lot, and we always sell out in Vegas and do great gates. We thought that coming back here after not being here for so long would be a sure sellout, and we did. We were just a little over 9,000 tickets sold tonight. But I'm always trying to be optimistic, so it's better than the 3,500 we sold the first show when we first came to Atlantic City. So big improvement. So let's get into the card here. The first fight of the night, Travis Lutter versus Marvin Eastman. Awesome fight. They were looking at each other for a while, then started to mix it up. And then weird punch. Travis Lutter caught him, and it was one of the most vicious knockouts I've ever seen that I didn't actually see land. But Travis Lutter, congratulations. Come on up here.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Sprawl, Conjo, Lions Den, for supporting me. I'd like to also thank all my guys that I train with in my gym, my coaches, my family. Thank you.
Tony Franklin and Ivan Salivary are 2 guys that have been waiting to get back into the UFC for a while now. 2 very talented, tough guys. I have a lot of respect for both of them. It was a great fight. Ivan Salivary is huge at 185 pounds. It's unbelievable that he really weighs 185. And he made quick work of a very, very tough game guy. Where are you? Come on.
First, I'd like to thank my opponent, Tony, for taking the fight at last moment. Tony, great fight. Appreciate it. Of course, a big thanks to my coaches, Matthew, Maurice Smith, and R1 for great guys training with Trigg, Chiparelli, Medichenko, all those guys are for R1 in LA. Thank you very much.
First fight of the night started off good. We made that the first fight because we knew these 2 were going to go at it. Lawler came out with a Matt Hughes type slam and laid in a guy's guard who was very, very slick at submissions and a very tough guy. Evan Tanner is on a serious roll. He beat Phil Baroni twice, and now Robbie Lawler. He's eluded the 2 guys who really, his weakness is his stand-up, in my opinion. And the two guys that everybody thought might knock him out, he stopped. So he's on a roll. He is the man at 185 pounds right now. Evan Tanner.
First of all, I want to thank my sponsor, sportsmove.com, Comp 28, Life Force Nutrition, and what's the other one? Full Contact Fight. I want to thank Dana, Joe, Zufa for having me back to fight. It's always an honor to compete in the UFC. And definitely want to thank Robbie Lawler for getting in there and going with me. I also want to thank the fans. It's because of you that this is possible. I get out here and do this. Yeah, it's great to be here, and definitely want to fight for the title here soon.
Is Sharuto in here? No? Sharuto, I have a lot of respect for this guy. I've seen him fight so many times. Training partner of BJ Penn, another person whom I respect very much. And Frank Trigg proved tonight that he is the real deal at the 170-pound division. Sharuto is a very, very tough guy, very big guy for that weight division, and Frank Trigg made it look easy. This was an awesome fight. Congratulations, Frank.
Can anybody tell me how I got out of that triangle, please? Somebody got an idea. I got first I want to thank Ivan and Josh and Maurice for coming down when they were in LA and training with us. Ivan absolutely got me ready for this fight. I needed his body type and his style. Obviously, get ready for Trudeau, somebody tall, long, and I prefer to work out with a heavier guy, so it was good to have Ivan in my gym every day pushing me. I really got to thank, I like to call it Team Trigg, but Rico Ciparelli, who's been with me since the beginning of my madness in the sport and watching me through my ups and downs and really keeping me saner than I should be most days and helped me get through the last couple of months. Ken Vick, my strength coach, Mo Drees, my boxing coach. It's just been absolutely amazing. And then Mike Gervais, who helped me with my mental training. It was just absolutely amazing that the steps and how much easier the fight game is when I have everybody getting me to go in the same direction. I really want to thank A2 Imagery and Marketing for keeping me under wraps and helping me adjust my mouth a little bit. If it wasn't for Nikki and Carlota, every day reminding me that I need to calm down a little bit and be a little bit nicer. My reign in this sport would be short-lived because a lot of people just X you out. So I really appreciate you guys for helping me out. I got to thank my dad, and he has gone out of his way these last couple of months. I've had some real tough times personally, and he stepped up beyond any step that any father should ever do to help me get through it. He literally flew from LAX to Cincinnati to Rochester, New York to pick up my son. Spent 3 hours this morning in Cincinnati again to get down here, and then took a train from Philadelphia to get over here. I mean, just so my son could see me fight live for the first time. And my father definitely stepped up and stepped over he's ever done. Ever in his life. I've always said before this fight that Jean-Jacques Machado was absolutely the toughest fight I've ever been in. And that was a battle if you guys have ever seen it. To date, right now, this was the toughest fight I've ever been in. Mentally, physically, Trudeau pushed me to the edge on every limit and anything that I could have done, from my stand-up to my wrestling ability to the counter submissions. He absolutely came and gamed up, and he's one of the most amazing competitors I've ever seen. And he throws from angles that you don't ever expect the fist to be coming at you from, and he does stuff to you, and he's so slick on the ground. He absolutely will be a force in this weight for a very long time. It's just unfortunate that he had to beat, pound for pound, one of the best fighters ever in the history of the sport with Matt Hughes, and then, gotcha. And then beating probably the best looking guy in the weight and me right after, so kind of nice. I want to thank my sponsors, Pride Nutrition, of course, Trigonomics Clothing, the R1 Training Center, all the guys over there to help me out. And MMAweekly.com, for you guys who don't know, I do the radio show every day, and that's actually kind of been a little bit of an outlet for me too, to help me advance myself a little more in the sport. I want to thank all the fans, and especially all the reporters that do this selfishly every day. That I know you guys don't make a lot of money, but you still show up at every event and you make it happen. You write about us. Even the guys that aren't very nice to write about, you still make it happen for us. I really appreciate it.
Frank Trigg, always shy and short on words. George St. Pierre, in my opinion, still now, even after the fight, is one of the most talented fighters in this sport. He comes in great shape, great energy, he's well-rounded, he can do anything. He can stand up, he can go to the ground, and even halfway through this fight in the first round, he was getting up off the ground from underneath Hughes. He took Hughes down once. He's just a phenomenal athlete. He is the new breed of mixed martial artist. He's the epitome of it. When you think of mixed martial artist, it's George St. Pierre. And the kid has such a great attitude, and I couldn't say enough good things about him. He fought a great fight tonight against, probably again, one of the living legends in the UFC right now, the unstoppable Hughes.
Well, I got to say, I like following Frank because I know everybody wants to go home now, and I don't have to talk very much. I want to thank my sponsors, mostly Tabnop, for all the support. Had a rough year starting off with the loss to BJ. It was tough for me to get over that. But then I ended up fighting Ceruto and beat him. July 9th, I got married, and July 28th, I became a Christian. And then I beat George St. Pierre today and got my belt back, so I'm going to salvage something out of this year after all. But I want to thank the fans, actually, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here at all. So, thank you.
Tito is getting his ankle wrapped or something, so what I'm going to do is, Patrick, come up here. This is undoubtedly, if this kid moves down to 185 pounds, this kid's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He came out tonight. Let me tell you something. Nobody. Say what you want about Tito. You don't like him. You hate the way he acts. When Tito gets you on your back and puts you up against the fence, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. This kid's only had 5 fights, and he dropped Tito Ortiz tonight, and showed a ton of heart, controlled himself well on the ground. At 185 pounds, this kid's a monster. Patrick, thank you for stepping up tonight. Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank the UFC to give me the opportunity to fight in the UFC main event and to fight against Tito Ortiz. You know, maybe in the first round, I believe in the miracle because when I hit him, he fall down. But you know, Tito Ortiz is a UFC former lightweight champion, and it's Tito Ortiz. You know, it's a great fighter, and I want to thank my sponsor, Faculty Fighter, Expand, Nutrition, Sport Fitness, Knock1.net, and that's it. Thank you everybody who support me.
Tito's coming. They just said he's coming right now, so why don't I take care of this thing before he gets out here. I don't think there's any doubt who this is going to. Who'd have thought it? Matt Hughes by armbar with like a second left. He said, I don't have to speak again, do I? Trigg will. Let's see what else. You know what? One of the fights, I didn't forget it. I just overlooked it. Rich Franklin, and I was just bitching earlier because I thought that was an underappreciated fight. If we were in Vegas, they would have went crazy over that fight. So much skill, back and forth, up and down. They were both in great shape. That was an awesome fight. And Rich Franklin had to go get stitches, I guess, in his eye, so he couldn't be here right now. But what a war, what an awesome display of heart and technique and skill by both guys. Is Jorge in here? Awesome, awesome fight. right, buddy. We almost here? All right, our next pay-per-view is going to be in Las Vegas. We're going to be in Las Vegas. We're going to work on the main event. We don't have it put together yet. But I can tell you what we're shooting for. We're shooting for Tito versus Vitor Belfort. So hopefully that'll be the main event in our next show in Las Vegas. Super Bowl Saturday. Again, it'll be the day before the Super Bowl. So we can all have a great night of fights and then go watch the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Already announced it. We got you all warmed up and ready. Tito Ortiz.
Wow. Patrick's a tough kid, man. Kid kind of took everything I had. I know everybody will be seeing in the very first beginning of the round. Rico, jackass, stacking a little too close to me. I was bouncing around and I stepped on his foot and literally rolled my ankle completely. Talk about ow. But I tried to go in and just do my job and get the win, coming off of 2 losses. I think winning was the most important thing right now in my career, and I didn't really care how I did it, just as long as I just kept scoring on top and looking for the takedown. Patrick gave me the good right hand at the very beginning, and I recovered like usual and kept coming at him each and every round. And I wish I could do it in impressive fashion as Matt Hughes did with the tap out and something like that. It's really impressive, and I just had to go in with the win. I want to thank all the fans, all the press, everybody for supporting UFC, support Ultimate Mixed Martial Arts. Each one of these fighters putting a show on. You guys don't know what we give to pretty much come in this octagon and give our heart and give our life and dedication we put in training to entertain each and every one of you guys on pay-per-view and watching in person. I thank everybody, all my training partners, Rico Rodriguez, Justin McCauley, everybody where John Lewis is, Marvin Eastman, Master Toddy in Las Vegas, those guys, of course, Rampage and Colin Ayala, Timo Ayala, those guys helped me a lot. And, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed in myself because I wish I could give a more impressive win, but got to go in with the win, and that's all that mattered to me. Each one of these guys, good job of showing the fights they did. We entertained tonight, and that's all that mattered. We had everybody cheering, everybody booing. As long as everybody's doing something, that's all that mattered. And I want to thank each and every one of you fans supporting this sport, supporting me, Tito Ortiz. Thank you guys.
A couple more things and we'll wrap this up. Very excited, most of you know we're doing a reality show 2 weeks from wrapping this thing. Yay. I want this to be very successful, but I got to tell you, I'm not doing season 2. I don't like it at all, but it's going to be a great television show. The people who are doing it right now have done a lot of reality shows, and they say this is one of the best reality shows they've ever done. So hopefully with the right promotion and the right everything, finally the sport's going to get its day on television with live fights and the way it should be. The other thing we just did is we just secured a deal with Fox Sportsnet to do 4 events. So we just started off with Chuck versus Tito, and the ratings were so good on a Sunday at 5 o'clock up against the Red Sox-Yankee game, all the football games that are on. We did great ratings. They're so excited. They called me the next day and said they want to start doing live fights, live UFC fights. Finally. So now Spike's pissed off. They want live fights. We're there, finally. This year is going to be the biggest year for mixed martial arts ever. We are going to have a live fight show on television like I always wanted, like I said we would do, and I know a lot of people were chirping at me saying, I talked too much and I was saying things were happening and they weren't. Finally, I think people are going to start believing me now. We're going to be on TV January 17th on Spike. We're going to be on Fox Sports Net. I don't know which one we're going to end up on with live fights, but it's all going to happen this year. It's happening. Here we come. And I got to thank all the fans and all the media here. The MMA media that really helped us push this thing. I love you guys. I know I'm a jerk sometimes and I don't like to talk a lot, or sometimes I like to talk too much, but we're here. We finally did it, and it's been a long, hard road, a long, hard 4 years, a lot harder than I ever thought it was going to be to get on television, but we're finally here. One more person I want to thank, Carrie Kasem. She's our new interviewer, and she did a great job tonight. Welcome to the team, Carrie. Everybody, thanks for your support. Have a good night.